Hi, it's James Taylor here. I sent out a survey to my list recently, to my readers and my viewers, asking them what their biggest fears were around the creative work that they're trying to do, and this idea of trying to live a creative life. And I want to read some of these back to you just now and see how many of them that you associate with. This is the views I got back from my readers and listeners. So here are just a couple of them. Many of them said actually that they didn't feel that they had any talent in the first place. Then they were afraid that they would be rejected or criticized for the work that they were trying to do. That someone had already done the idea that they were thinking of, or had done that idea better. That there is no market for the creative work that they want to do, and they really worry that they could actually make a living from doing this work as well. That someone is going to steal their idea. So they'll produce this creative work, they'll put it out there, but someone's going to steal it and use it, and they're not going to get the credit for it. That their creative work won't change anyone's lives or give any lasting impact as well. That it's going to be a waste of time. That if they do this, live a creative life and do their creative endeavors, it will be a waste of money. That they don't have the right tools. That they don't have the right training or qualifications. That they won't be taken seriously, that they're afraid of being considered self-centered for following a creative path. They're worried about what their family will say. They're worried about what their friends and their co-workers are going to say if they suddenly change tack and actually start doing something and seem to be doing creative work and following their creative dreams. Then they're going to be criticized for that. That they're going to lose their mind in the process of living a creative life, because this idea of the tortured creative genius is such a strong one in our culture, and you think, well, this is how, if you become a creative, you're doing creative work full time, then you've got to have this mad creative genius thing around you. That they're too old to start now, that they're too young to start now, that they're a one-hit wonder. Someone said to me they were worried that they had this big hit on their first record that they put out, and they were a one-hit wonder. And then I had other people saying that they felt that they were a no-hit wonder. They would never have any hits. That they're going to follow their creative path and live a creative life when they're 30, 40, 50, 60. Usually it was a year with a zero that ended, the next big zero year with a zero on the end. That they'll end up broke and bitter. So these are just a selection of some of the fears that I got back when I asked my readers and my viewers what was holding them back from doing that. And you may associate with some of those, you may associate with many of those things I've just said. So I want you to, as you go through that, get a pen and paper and actually write some of these fears out and get them out on paper. It may be the very first time you've ever written those ideas down. They may be going in the back of your head in a fuzzy way, but you've actually written them down now. And then I want you to think about those and ask yourself, are they really true? So for example, if one of those fears that you have is that there's no market for the work you want to do, well, research the market. This is something you're not sure of. So it's not an objection, it's a concern. So you need to find out, is there a market for it? So research the market. And what you often find is the riches are in the niches, where sometimes if you have a very specific thing that you're doing, a specific piece of creative work, there is a market for it. It's really just how you enter that market. That someone's already done it before. This is a classic fear that, well, what's the point in doing this thing because someone's already done it before. Now, you can see on the bookshelf before me, I've got lots of books that are on exactly the same subjects. But why do I have multiple books on the same subject? Well, it's because something is distinct about the way that that person has described a solution to that problem, or the way that they've expressed themselves or expressed the idea. And I may prefer one book over another because I like the personality of that writer, what that writer's trying to say. So this is the thing, if someone's already done it before, they've already done it before in their voice. They haven't done it in your voice. They haven't said it in the way that you want to say it, to create the creative work in the way that you're going to create it as well. So don't let that be a fear for you. That you don't have the right tools. And I speak about this in a previous video about minimum viable toolkit. It would be great, it would be lovely to have all these tools, but sometimes the tools can actually get in the way, and as creators get older and more experienced, often you'll find that actually they'll reduce the number of tools they're working with. So just find the minimum viable toolkit if you're a writer, it could just be that computer with a word program on it. If you're a musician, it's the iPhone. I mean, you can do some amazing things now just with very, very simple technology and simple tools. That they don't have the time. This was another common fear. And if you spend any time watching TV or consuming any media, you have to ask yourself, every minute, hour that you spend consuming content is time that you're not spending creating content. So maybe start cutting out some of the consumption side and actually focusing more on the creation. And that can sometimes mean getting up a bit earlier, start working on your creative project, burning the midnight oil a little bit, working on your creative work at weekends, blocking out time to work on your creative endeavors. So I hope by listing out some of the most common fears that you can reflect for yourself, which ones do you maybe have, and then more importantly start to look at, well, is that really true? Is that really the case? And find out where you get to on it. So I would love to get your comments. If you're not watching this at jamestaylor.me, please head over there, and I would love to get your comments and your feedback on this video. Hi, it's James here. Did you enjoy that episode? If so, there's two things that we can do to continue the journey together. Firstly, I would love if you to subscribe, give us 5 stars and leave a comment. Secondly, if you go to jamestaylor.me and enter your name and email address, I'm going to send you some free goodies all around creativity and innovation. Look forward to continuing the journey together.